Okay, so this lesson is on finding the GCF and factoring it out. So let's start with what is a GCF, a greatest common factor. It's going to be the biggest number that will go into both original numbers. So for example 1, I want to find the GCF of 15 and 16. Now, your calculator will actually do this for you, so I'm going to show you how. We want the biggest number that will go into 15 and 16. So we want to get to this catalog down here at the bottom, right on top of the 0. So we're going to push second 0. Okay. Now we want the GCF. So I have to go all the way down to G. So I could scroll all the way down. Or if you see G is right here above the tan button. So I'm just going to hit tan. And it'll take me down to my G's. So I'm going to actually use GCD. They don't use GCF. They put GCD. But that's what I want. I want the GCD. And I want it between 15. I'm going to put a comma, it's right here above the 7, and 16. So the greatest common factor between 15 and 16 is 1. Okay, let's do it again. Because the more, and you should be doing this with me, the more you press the buttons, the more likely you're going to be to remember it. So GCF, I'm going to push second 0. I want to go down to my G's, so I'm going to hit tan. I want the GCD, so I'm going to go right here to GCD and hit enter. And I want it between 12. I'm going to put a comma, and 18. And the GCF between 12 and 18 is 6. Okay, let's go ahead and do these numbers while we remember. So second 0, I want to go down to G's, which is tangent. I want the GCD, the second one. And I want it between 36 and 54. So 18 is my GCF out of the numbers. Now, what do you do with letters? Well, it says right here. When you're doing it for variables, you choose the lowest exponent for each common variable. So there's two parts. They both have to have the variable, and then you pick the smallest exponent. So let's start with x's. Do they both have an x? Yes. So that's going to be part of my GCF. You pick the lowest exponent. This one has a 2. This one has a 1. Well, the 1 is the smaller exponent. Do they both have a y? Yes, so that's going to be part of my GCF. Take out the lowest exponent. This one's a 1, that one's a 2, the smallest one is a 1. Do they both have a z? No, so I cannot take a z out. So my greatest common factor is 18, x, y. That's it. Okay, let's do this one. Let's start with our numbers, 27 and 15. Remember, second 0. We're going to go down to our g's. 27 and 15, and my GCF is 3. Do they both have an A? Yes. This one's a 2, this one's a 1, so 1 is my smallest. Do they both have a B? Yes. This one's a 1, that one's a 2, so 1 is my smallest. Do they both have a C? No, so my GCF is 3AB. Alright, now that we know how to find the GCF, we're going to learn how to factor it out. Works the same way. I'm going to find my GCF. So I'm going to go down between 12 and 16. And it's 4. Do they both have an A? Yes. And the smaller exponent is a 1. Okay, that's my GCF, 4A. Now I'm going to factor it out. So I'm going to do a parentheses. And the way you factor it out is just divide. So 12 divided by 4 is 3. If you have two A's and you're taking one A out, that leaves one A. Bring down your plus. 16 divided by 4 is 4. If you had one A and you're taking one A out, there are no more A's left. So this is my answer, 4A. And when I took it out, I was left with 3A plus 4. Let's do this one. Okay, I want to find my GCF. Between 15 and 25. It's 5. Do they both have an x? Yes. The smallest exponent is a 1. Okay, let's factor it out. That means divide. 15 divided by 5 is 3. I had one x and I took one out, so no more x's. Bring down your plus. 25 divided by 5 is 5. I had 2 x's, and I'm taking 1 out, so that just leaves 1x. Okay, let's do another one. Let's do 16x to the third plus 4x squared. Okay, so I want to find my GCF between 16 and 4, and it is a 4. Do they both have an x? Yes. The smaller exponent is x to the second. Let's divide it out. 16 divided by 4 is 4. If I have 3 x's and I'm taking 2 out, that leaves 1. 4 divided by 4 is 1. If I have 2 x's and I'm taking 2 out, then no more x's. Okay? All right, let's go back. What do you do if there are 3 numbers? If there are 3 numbers, you want to pick the 2 that are closest together. So between 12, 24, and 30, don't worry about the negatives. Which 2 are the closest? Well, 24 and 30. So I'm going to find the GCF between 24 and 30. And it is 6. And I want to double check that 6 will go into 12. And it will. So 6 is my GCF. Do all of them have an x? Yes. My smallest exponent is a 1. Do all of them have a y? Yes. My smallest exponent is a 1. Okay, let's divide it out. 12 divided by 6 is 2. You had 1 x and you're taking an x out, no more x's. You had 1 y, you're taking a y out, no more y's. Bring down your plus. 24 divided by 6 is 4. You had 1 x, you're taking 1 out, no more x's. You had 2 y's and you're taking 1 out, so that leaves 1 y. 30 divided by 6 is 5. You had 2 x's and you're taking 1 out, so that leaves 1x. You had 4 y's and you're taking 1 out, so that leaves 3 more y's. And there's one more I skipped. Let's do this one. Between 8, 12, and 9, which 2 numbers are the closest? 8 and 9. So we're going to find the GCF between 8 and 9. And it's just 1. Do they all have a C? Yeah. Your smallest exponent is a 1. Do they all have a D? Yeah. Your smallest exponent is a 1. So let's divide. 8 divided by 1 is 8. You had 1 C and you're taking 1 out, so no more C's. You had 2 D's and you're taking 1 out, so there is a D left. 12 divided by 1 is still 12. You had 2 C's and you're taking 1 out, so that leaves a C. You had 1 D and you're taking 1 out, so no more D's. 9 divided by 1 is still 9. You had 1 C, you're taking a C out, no more C's. You had 1 D, you're taking a D out, no more D's. So that's it for this set of notes. If you'll go try the worksheet and let me know if you need help.